attempt to adjust your programming. You are now listening to
I had to.
B-Movies and Beyond.
Pew pew pew
Pew, pew.
pew.
Those are real guns. Boom, 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 boom.
Oh yeah. Welcome in, one and all, to episode 355. Ryan, we're back. It's been a while.
It's been a minute.
Yep, but
I've-
we are here.
I'm glad that we recapped our lives so our viewers and our listeners don't have to hear our lives.
Yeah,
Oh,
otherwise, yeah, we would have taken a half an hour just to say what we've been up to.
They would have been like, okay, we don't care.
Working family.
Congrats on your kitchen. Congrats on your stuff. And sorry you didn't just spend the past like 3 weeks watching movies profusively.
You know what's kind of funny is I think all I was able to do was like watch a movie a week. So I got in 3, and the sad part, Ryan, is that I can only remember 2 of them. So I guess that third one wasn't very good.
You know, Peter, I watched a bunch of movies myself, but I only remember a handful of them. But the thing is, I marathoned a bunch of movies. So we'll get into that later because that's my recommendation. But I did go see a couple in the movie theater. The marathon was based off one of my last reviews. So
Oh,
yeah.
I understand.
So I did a little bit of work. And I had to rewatch a couple because I was like, what is going on? I had to ask some questions, and I still have questions, but I have enough data to recommend this series.
Good.
Good. As you viewers can see, we don't have our branding, and it's powered by StreamYard. And if anything, I wish I could just remove that logo just in general. Like, can I? Nope.
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 It's on there. We use StreamYard. Thank you, StreamYard.
Thank you for nothing. Thanks for doubling my price. Sorry. Hopefully this episode comes out because I wasn't happy with that. They doubled their price. It was like $25 versus and now it's like $44, and there's no feature upgrade. Just viewers and listeners, the next episode is going to be a lot different. It might be same but different, but it's definitely not going to be on StreamYard. So
It's fine. It's fine. I think if you've hung out with us this long, we've gone through a lot of changes.
yeah. And dude, right before we hit 365, we're 10 away from 365, and it's like doing it all over again.
Kind of. We're always evolving, or we're always changing, and the podcast got to change with us. So, I don't know. Change is good, Ryan. I really think change is good. So
I do too, actually. I'm with you on that, Peter. A lot of good change. Enough about our lives.
We got some good stuff. Couple trailers, nothing too big. I like this, Ryan, that we're kind of toning it down a little bit. We got a couple things. I just remembered a big news thing that happened just a few days ago, I believe. But we got Venom: The Last Dance. We got a new trailer for that, which normally I don't like talking about it, but I feel like there's something pretty big, and I'm curious about how they're going to pull it off, and I want your opinion. And then new Justin Long movie, which I just can't tell if he's had plastic surgery or he's just getting old. I don't know what's going on with him.
It's weird to watch our favorite young actors get old. Like, he was unaccepted, and he looked like, and he was always a child, and now he's just older. It's
yeah. But his skin looks different. But I don't know. Some news: John Cena and a death, very famous death. But we'll get into that. But first, Ryan, you know how we like to start it off
with an intro.
What? How? Why? I have so many questions!
So, Ryan, I drive around a lot for work, and uh, when I'm driving around, I've seen like a uptick in these like vinyl wraps, these like wraps of these cars, and like they're always like they're themed, right? They
Okay.
have I've seen a lot of anime. That's probably the most common is anime. Um, and so it just it got me. Well, I guess first off, since you're in the car world, have you noticed the increase of these vinyl wraps just in general?
I have, and I've noticed an uptick. Okay, my first experience ever seeing one of these was in 2015 in Tokyo. I literally saw a full wrapped Subaru,
When you
and then
live there.
walking around, and that just further proves that Japan is like 10 years ahead of us.
Yeah. Wait, did all these wraps come from Japan?
The idea did,
Uh,
because not
but
only did
not
I see that anime Subaru, and I can share photos of it, but, like, I was walking around Harajuku Park, and there were minivans, little micro vans that were, like, tricked out, and they had these full wraps on them, and then they started showing up here. Do you remember Taco, our friend?
Yeah, yeah, backsplaining. Oh, there I go messing up again.
Yeah, infamous Taco quotes. He did an anime wrap on the roof of his vehicle a couple of years back. Um,
Of what?
an anime chick.
Oh, just a random one or like
He had a story behind it, but I couldn't fathom why he put it on his car. And then oddly enough today, um, I'm learning how to wrap and I'm watching my buddy Dylan over here at Deco Tent, and he's doing a wrap. It's like an iridescent like color shift color. It's pretty cool. It's on a new Nissan, the new Z, but like you look at it in one angle and it's like a copper brown, but then you like move to one side and it's like purple and green, has all kinds of cool colors. And then I said, "Hey, dude, why don't we start selling these cool anime wraps?" And he looked at me like, "Nah." And then,
he hasn't done one and he
no,
won't do one?
well, I mean, he will. I know he will, but I want to get one in the door, and I want to get a cool theme. Oh my
Okay.
gosh.
Well, so that's our quick question, Ryan. And I
Okay.
think maybe you can sell this to your buddy. And this is what I want to know is like, all right, what like movie franchise would you want to have a vinyl wrap on your car? Like I saw all these vehicles and I mean, you have to be a fan, right? Like the fact that you're basically like putting tattoos on your vehicle, right? It's something that you must love that you're putting onto your vehicle. So, what do you love so much or you just think would be cool to put your car on or wrap your car with?
My car?
Yeah, you have to drive this.
My car, my Toyota 4Runner.
Sure.
Um, dude, that's a good question. I mean,
I know, dude. I'm seeing more and more of these. I was like, man, if I had to choose something, like what would I do? And like I think my joke answer when I first thought about this was uh I just love the idea of having cars on cars. And so I went like Fast and the Furious, you know. But I went, you gotta have Vin Diesel, you gotta have the whole family, right? But they need to be like in their vehicles randomly throughout, jumping over shit. Maybe you had the like the swinging scene where he's swinging his car around.
I
You know,
like your idea of that. Like, I was thinking just like a montage of them in front of their cars, but each panel would be like one of those cool scenes from the movie.
yeah, Paul Walker's like hanging in the back of that one car that Vin Diesel's driving, like I want cool shit like that. And then like I said, I just really I thought it'd be funny just to like I got a car wrap with more cars on it. And what's like the only movie franchise that I can think of that is so car related is absolutely hands down like Fast and the Furious. You could maybe go Gone in 60 Seconds, but
Or you can go Cars.
I mean, it's animated, I get right? Kind of
I mean,
animated.
have you seen people do a Cars themed car where they put like the eyes on the windshield
I
and
have
like
seen that, but
yeah,
I want I don't want it just to look like another, like
car.
yeah, like, I like the idea that there's this random other cars on my car depicting, like and there's gotta be explosion too.
Mm.
So many explosions in Fast and the Furious.
Dude,
Uh,
you kind of just nailed it. You've
good.
covered explosions,
Um,
cars, family, Paul Walker,
oh, Coronas.
Coronas. Dude, it's almost like you see you kind of took
It's
what one of my answers would be, and I really appreciate that because you went full on like I want cars on there. I want like I was thinking Ninja Turtles, but I'm like, dude, I always say Ninja Turtles for something, you know? So what else can I think about? But you just that's perfect.
dude, I well, I love it. I think there's so many action scenes and everything, and I
Mm.
think a really talented, like, artist that could, like, kinda, like, really custom make, like, this vinyl, dude, you can make this look really badass, especially, like, with the explosion or just put right in the right places on the car. Oh, man. Now I kinda want one, but, like, that's what I'm saying, dude. You get your buddy, start making some custom vinyl wraps, movie related, boom, and I'll only take 15%.
That's not bad because those wraps are super expensive.
Yes.
They're like starting price $5,000 all the way to like $15,000.
Holy
And
shit.
that's just like it depending on the vinyl. So if you get something printed, I guarantee you're gonna be in a realm of like 7 to 8. So see, you gotta be committed. So this is your commitment. This isn't like a movie production studio coming up to you and saying, "Hey, we want to wrap your car with our movie." Because if anything, I'd be like, dude,
Ooh.
put whatever movie you want on there. I don't care.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't even think about that side. Maybe some of these studios pay us some money to get
Mm.
this done.
That would
Yeah,
see
advertise.
Peter, potential write-off. If we have B movies and Beyond Cars, we have the movie studios wrap our vehicles. I make the money off wrapping it. You and I make the money off of promoting it, and we have a promo car, and then we get the tax write-off.
Dude, I love it. Let's get this done.
Um, I would say Ninja Turtles, but you know what one would look even cooler?
What's that?
And this goes along with my YouTube algorithm is really screwed up right now because I switched from my Drive Mile High to my personal one. And I've been watching a lot of rare video game console content because I was at the flea market and I saw a really rare PS2 and I might go get
Ooh.
it. But I noticed that they do a lot of themed wrapped consoles and I want a Sonic the Hedgehog car. I would wrap my
Oh,
Forerunner in all the Sonic characters. I'm gonna take a little bit of your idea of the action scenes, them going fast. You have a character on each side. You have bright colors. You have rings all over the place. You have Jim Carrey. You have fucking Shadow now. There's the possibilities are endless with a Sonic themed car. You get internet clout because it's a meme currently. Um, I can't think of anything negative about that. Maybe the Knuckles franchise with that weird guy, but if
mm,
you just who looks like a fat Jay Cutler, um, no, but
dude.
you could put Carrie Hughes on there, which is a good idea. You could put James Marsden on there.
So
Uh,
you want the live action
we're,
CGI version,
we're
basically.
talking movie franchise. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna go all
okay.
out. Yeah,
All
not
right, because
video game.
they have that. They had the video game quite a bit. There's a few cars out there. But I like that, especially with Jim Carrey on there.
I would have the actors on there: Jim Carrey, James Marsden, Jay Cutler, that really hot black girl.
You know what you have to do though? You have to put the ugly Sonic on there too somewhere. Like maybe it's a little like a hidden, like find the ugly Sonic on the car, but I think you have to have that on there just
You know
for
where I'd put him?
where's
I know
that?
exactly where I'd put him. I put him on the roof.
Oh,
So, like, if someone's looking at an aerial view, do you remember the first like promo of him where he's like laid back, chill, like in the ring or something. That's
Mhm.
how I put Ugly Sonic in there.
Nice.
But yes, Ugly Sonic would have to go in there
Mhm.
because the internet won. They won. Dude, that's a great question. Honestly, I would do a lot of them. Like the Matrix would be cool ish. I would put Nicolas Cage's face all over my car. Could you imagine a montage of Nick Cage?
Oh, that'd be great. The other thing, like you gotta like, I think you gotta take it up a notch though, and like the horn does something that Nick Cage says each time, and oh man, you'd have
Let's
some
ride.
fun with that. Yeah, let's try. Oh, that'd be fantastic. Oh
Or just
man.
one of his like random outbursts that he has. Like your
Oh,
corn is just gonna go nuts.
oh, that'd be fantastic. I love it. There's just so many options. That's why I'm saying like this, dude. This is like $1 billion idea. So let's get it done.
I like it, dude.
Yeah,
Oh man. I can go on and on and on and on and
yeah.
on, but you know what? We're gonna go on and on and on about our podcast
Let's do
and
it.
trailers.
Here are some exciting coming attractions from
Movies and beyond.
Do you have a window open, Ryan?
Why do you hear crickets?
Yeah.
He's just hanging out.
That's cool. It's just, it's kind of like the ambience, it's just, I feel like we're chilling outside, having a beer or whatever you're
I am
drinking.
drinking a hot toddy, so we're
Ah,
on
nice.
key. Yeah.
There you
So
go.
that's another thing. I've been sick for like a week, 2 week and a half, dude. Like
Oh, dude.
I got a gnarly like head cold. Fucking-
So so Ellie, my youngest, she like got like this cough. She's had it for like 2 weeks. I feel like it's getting better. Otherwise, I'd probably go take her to the hospital, to the doctor. And then I got this same cough, but like it kind of went like really quick for me. But then the weird thing, dude, I wake up uh two mornings ago, and I wake up and my bottom lip is just swollen. And I have no idea. Like, dude, it was like Professor. Like, dude, it was so weird.
No way.
Yeah, it was so big, and like I had no idea what was going on. Um, I go to work and I took like an allergy pill, and it kind of got better. And then like I get home and I got like rashes down my arms. I have no idea what's going on here. I can only assume it's related to that illness. And then the next morning, after that fat lip, my top lip was all swollen up. And then thankfully, this morning I woke up with no swollen lips, or maybe they're just both swollen. I'm not used to it. I don't know, or I'm used to it now. But
You
this,
either have a very funny spider that lives in your house, and like whenever you're sleeping, he just comes down and bites your lip,
dude,
and you have
yeah,
like a reaction.
I thought it was my kid like smacking me in the face at night. Like, but I was like 2 nights in a row, and then first the bottom lip, now the upper lip. Like that makes no sense. But I don't know. I'm getting over whatever that weird shit is. It's weird, dude. The body's just weird, and illnesses are weird, and I don't know. So I feel for you, man. That there's some, like you said, wicked colds out there. So, um, trailers.
Well, a transition from spiders, and it might be a spider, or it might be like a symbiote that's messing with you.
Nice segue. We have a final trailer for Venom: The Last Dance.
About time.
I guess the conclusion of this, which I mean, I'll have to say, like, I don't think they needed to do this. If anything, it just made me more like, how the hell are they gonna pull this off? And then also made me think, like, is this really the final? Like, is this the conclusion? Because
Hmm.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if they should really be done, but maybe it's best that they are saying like this is done. They get to end on their terms, right? I could also see that like probably Tom Hardy is kind of like, uh, this is the last time, guys. Like I honestly feel like, and I don't have any of this to really back that up. I'm trying to look it up to see if he's said like this is it. Um, but I can see them being done. I can see them being done, and the way that where they're going with this. So I don't know if you're familiar with the comic books at all, and I actually haven't even read this series, but they talk about in the trailer that the symbiote's creator is coming after them, right?
Sure.
And that is like that's a more recent series that just came out, and I'm really curious about how they're going to pull this off. And I'm actually a little bit concerned about that because of the fact that it seems hard. It's kind of like it's a tough sale on this one. Like it's this god basically. We haven't talked about any gods in the Venom universe, but
No.
this god created these symbiotes to make himself stronger and make them weapons, and then they kind of all kind of branched away and like I think kind of fought him off. I'm sure they'll get into all those details and everything, but
Kind of like Alien.
I guess kind of like Alien, yeah. So it's kind of a big sell, and like you really got to be into it. And I just feel like this is gonna be like a fine line. Like they're really gonna be like on the tightrope on this one to like either it's gonna work, like they're gonna do it just right, or it's gonna flop because that's such a lot, like huge stretch and just unnecessary. But from the trailer itself, it looks like a fun ride. I got the vibes of like how like Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance came out,
Ooh, good call.
where they're just like, dude, we just want to have fun with this movie, and that's what I'm getting from Venom: The Last Dance is like, you know, the whole like there's a symbiote horse, like just everything that they're doing with Eddie and Venom looks fantastic, and so like they're just like every single little idea that they had, like we're throwing it in there within reason, and let's just have a blast making this film because if this is our last dance, we're gonna go out with a bang, you know?
Well, maybe this does a. I hope this does a fan service to Venom fans, because there's Spider-Man fans, and then there's Spider-Man fans who know who Venom is, and then there's Venom fans. And like you're right, there's like you have Carnage in there, you have Scream, you have all the different symbiote characters in this Venom world, and then you have other variants of Venom, Agent Venom, Eddie Brock Venom, Flash Thompson Venom.
I think that's Agent Venom, but
Yeah, you're right.
even Eddie's son is a Venom. Yeah, there is a whole bunch of different versions of this, and that's why I'm saying like this could just be the end of the chapter for Eddie Brock, for Tom Hardy.
This Eddie Brock,
Yeah, they
because
could
we might
do
get
a
another
lot.
Eddie Brock.
Absolutely, they could do a lot with this. So,
Like, can you really see Tom Hardy and what's his name? Justin Long? No, what's the name?
Tom Harlan, Spider-Man,
Tom
Tom Holland.
Tom Holland. Can you see those two with their little banter back and forth? Actually, I kind of can.
Yeah, I could see that. I think it'd be actually pretty fun. But here's the thing, though, is that this Venom, like they've kind of have gone a different route, and you don't have the whole revenge story with this. Like this Venom with Sony, like there really is no Spider-Man, you know? It is really like, and I feel like that's actually what makes it work, is that
Yeah,
they removed the Spider-Man from it. Like there is no mention of Spider-Man.
100%.
So
Yeah, like the only mention was prior to that end scene was he was like, I lived in New York and now I'm in San Francisco, clear across the country. That's it.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. And besides the whole little, um, what was it in? Oh, I guess it was in a No Way Home. That's the only time you really get to see a little crossover, like, or even a hint that Venom knows who Spider-Man is, which again, I think they have decided like, okay, we don't need to do that anymore. So, as cool as that would be, but like I'm saying, like Venom is so not like out to get Spider-Man. So it just doesn't make sense for them to really to fight. Like it'd be too much of like just forcing something that should not happen with what they have created. And I don't think they should. They shouldn't do that. Now, if you get some new guy that has beef with Spider-Man, now it makes more sense. So
Yeah, like college Spider-Man and like some college kid. Oh my God. Completely forgot. Tom Holland Spider-Man is absolutely reset. Everything about him has been reset. Dude, Spider-Man's gonna be cool because we're gonna get a reset Tom Holland Spider-Man with who knows what Venoms, or villains, and then we can see just like that's Sony's crossover. Like Sony owns Miles Morales, and they're like, here we go, throw him into the picture, and then okay, all right.
yeah, they could do some cool stuff. I don't think Sony is quite done like the way you think they are, but I mean, if I'm being honest, I think that is the best thing for them to do. It's just give it back to Disney.
Well, the best thing is Sony Studios needs to be bought out by someone like Disney or like Apple, and then like in that merger, then Apple can be like, okay, we'll sell Spider-Man. See ya.
Yeah. So,
And
all right,
Nick
well,
Cage, and Amazon could keep Nick Cage as Spider-Man Noir.
nice. Yeah, so far all the trailers, I want to go see it. I love Venom. It looks like a fun ride. So, the next trailer we got is Spin the Bottle with Justin Long. And it's a straight to VOD horror movie about spinning the bottle. I mean,
I never thought Spinning the Bottle would be a horror movie. I was.
you mean a horror movie? It's a horror movie.
Hell yeah, that's what I thought it was. That's what I was getting into.
Yeah.
But then you always had those weird friends who are like, "Hey, you gotta like make out with Tommy over there," and you're like, "No, I didn't sign up for that."
It's just strictly to make out with the opposite sex.
Yeah, well, back in our day, that's what it was. Nowadays, I don't know what kids do.
I think it's changed a bit. It's changed, equal. Rights.
Hey, you gotta change. You gotta change your gender in 6 months, okay?
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, dude, you can take any concept and you can make it into like a horror, story. Like it's just that easy. I'm not surprised at all that like, hey, let's take Spin the Bottle and make this into a scary movie.
Why don't we make Monopoly into a scary movie?
Oh. Sure. Can you imagine the evil guy? You don't pass go. You don't collect your head off or something. Exactly.
Some creepy Monopoly man is just like hiding out whenever you're making financial decisions.
Yeah, dude. Every single thing they can make into a horror movie. I mean, like
that sounds like a good concept for a movie, dude. I'm not gonna lie.
Absolutely, man. Like, I mean, they took Bambi and made that into the scary movie. Like, there's nothing off limits. So, a stupid concept, even as like Spin the Bottle, it's very easy to make it scary. And I'll admit, like watching that trailer, I was like, that looks actually kind of cool. Like the scares look kind of legit. There's only a few times, I mean, it looks low budget, where I just thought the acting, I was like, wow, that guy sounds terrible, right? Like you don't believe him. But if they can push out like some decent scares, that's all you need for a horror movie. So I'm in, and I don't have to leave the house. Perfect.
Bro, it's on VOD. I mean, like, I got any time. How can we watch this? Prime?
I'm sure it'll be on Prime, everything. Probably have to pay some. You got to rent it, Ryan.
Well, we're done with trailers. Let's just go into
Yeah, hit it.
New movies coming out. John Cena joins Mattel's Matchbox Car movie. Cool.
Wait, what now?
After the success of Barbie, Mattel is like, we should make other movies based off our toys, and John Cena is headed to Matchbox, not Hot Wheels, but Matchbox. But
Okay.
cool, I guess. I mean, John Cena's been in car movies. He could be on your Fast and Furious themed car wrap. But you can watch him in an upcoming Matchbox movie. Would you watch a movie about Matchbox cars? How would they? Honestly, they just gotta poke fun at Fast and the Furious 1000%, and then be like, psych, we were just Matchbox cars.
You know, with the right people, though, no matter what, I just feel like they can make a good movie. It sounds like a very odd concept, but they might be able to pull it off.
I mean, the last Fast and Furious, they drove a muscle car down a dam while it was blowing up.
Yeah.
And
No.
John Cena, I think John Cena at some point during that scene, like, came out of nowhere in his like little rippity shitty ass car and like extended his arm out to grab Dom from one car to another to save his life. Or the
Yeah.
kid or something. I don't know. So it was a very Matchbox moment. They could totally make a Matchbox Cars movie.
Absolutely.
And I would
Absolutely.
totally watch it. Yeah.
Oh, Ryan, real fast. Sorry, squirrel. But guess what's on Amazon Prime?
Is it Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
I mean, I think that is on there. But Jonah Hex. We haven't watched Jonah Hex yet.
Oh, we do need to watch Jonah Hex. That was part of our deal, wasn't it?
Yep. And now
All right.
is on Prime for us to watch. So that's
I like
coming,
that.
guys. It's
We
coming.
are gonna watch Jonah Hex.
Yeah.
All right. Episode 356, Jonah Hex.
All right, I'm in.
And then Peter, we don't have much for news this week, and I think we just we didn't even half-ass it. We just kind of like, here's notes, put something in there. But there hasn't been news for us to talk about besides this. Peter, I got really sad news, dude.
I know. I know.
It's the Peter Renaday, the original voice of Master Splinter, passed away.
Oh. Yes, I saw that as well. That was sad.
On the same or the day after Darth Vader passed away. Or
Yes.
Mufasa.
Or the old man
The-
from the Sandlot.
Or the most iconic voice of all movies possible.
Yeah.
James Earl Jones.
I know. Dude, that was one kind of shocked by it. I didn't even think about it. I don't know if this is weird to say, but I was like, I thought maybe he already passed.
Well, dude, he's been one of those actors for a long time. You're like, man, he's getting up there in age, and you're right. Like, he's kind of like he had that Bob Barker moment where you're like, dude, is Bob Barker still alive?
Yeah, and then you find out, nope, he was still alive, and he just recently passed. And then it makes you think about just all the stuff that he is known for, and I mean, huge stuff, man. Like we watched Coming to America not too long ago, right? Like
King Jackie Joffer.
Exactly. And I need to watch the second one because he's in it as well. So
That's his last movie.
Yeah, I think that's probably what I'll have to watch just to kind of remember him. But it's gonna be kind of weird, dude, because I'm pretty sure he signed away his rights to like his voice basically for Star Wars.
And with enough AI and the technologies that we have, they're totally gonna do it.
Oh yeah.
And
Well, I think they did that already. In Obi-Wan. I think
yeah,
they pretty much took all that information and created this new dialogue for him that's not him. I don't think he did that voiceover, even though it's his voice. So like, dude, he could just live on like forever.
dude, I saw an Oprah special about AI, and we can replicate our own voices.
I mean,
So
dude, we almost got 365 episodes of this. They got everything they need for our
you know how
voice.
awesome, dude, think about the future of our podcast. All we need to do is just like digitize our faces for a minute and then remember some backgrounds. And then we could just type up our own script and then
Oh, dude.
compile and then just send.
I wonder I might try this. I might ask AI tomorrow. Be like, "Hey, write me a script for a podcast for
Let's
B
do
movies
it.
and beyond, and see what it comes out, and maybe we'll just read that."
Dude, let's do it. And let's like, and in today's news, we need to cover these topics. And then we have these trailers. Give us your opinion on it. And then we review Jonah Hex. Give us insights about, oh, dude, next episode's podcast is going to be completely awesome.
All right, we're
AI
I'll
based.
try to get some AI stuff from that. Yeah,
Well,
it is really sad to lose both those people. Um, I think the hard part is it's just from your childhood. I think that's the tough part. Like we're getting so old, Ryan, that people just keep on passing away on us.
well, it's like that Ninja Turtle shirt I showed us. I'm in my 40s,
Yeah,
basically.
absolutely.
I'm
I love
actually in
it.
my 40s. Um, uh, well, you know what, dude? AI can be a good thing and a bad thing because, like, Bruce Willis signed away his likeness, but he can give us Bruce Willis like characters forever. Um, and James Earl Jones doing the same thing. He
Yeah.
he was a fantastic actor, but he was the voice, dude. Like we can have Mufasa forever. We can have Darth Vader forever. We can have um wow, Emperor Palpatine impersonating Darth Vader voice role. Huh. We can have these forever. Like
You could
it'll
have that iconic voice forever.
narration, like Morgan Freeman can take a break because they'd be like, dude, we just got a copy of James Earl Jones. We're good.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And then or Morgan Freeman can just join the club and like, all right, fine. You can have my voice and sign it away and get paid lots of money.
Dude, it is so crazy at this point in time. Like you and I could be talking and then it'll just change our voice to them. So
Yeah.
not only is it coming from a script, it's coming from an actual like voice with different tones and vocal cords and stuff like that
Mm-hmm.
that we do.
Mm.
And it's gonna be technology is crazy. It's crazy to think that that's what we're thinking about with the death of James Earl Jones.
Yeah.
Um,
I well, and speaking of that, I just heard of another thing. I believe Disney is getting sued because um what's that guy that they totally did like CGI that he died in he died in
oh,
real life, but they used him in Rogue One.
Peter Cullen, I think.
Yeah, something like that. But I guess they're getting sued because they didn't really ask permission to use that, but they're claiming that like, dude, we own the rights to that movie and he's a character in that movie and we're recreating that character.
Peter Cushing.
Yeah, Cushing. There you go.
Yeah, his
Which
estate is looking for a payout from Disney, but
yeah, but like okay, you did a job. Your likeness is in that job as this character that they created, but it's still you. And like, I don't, I think I'm on the side of the state to be like, no, like, I signed on for this one thing, and now you just put me in a whole nother movie. I don't care if it's created digitally or not. That's still me, you know?
very isn't that the whole point of the actor strike that just happened? That they weren't compensating these actors properly for future use of their likeness?
I think they're oh, well, I know they added something into that, so I don't know if that was currently happening. I mean, I'm sure it was, but I know they added a statement about the whole AI stuff. Same thing with writing, right? They said writing can only go so far with the AI,
Right.
and it has to be unique. So, um, dude, I don't know. I'm not gonna be. It's moving so quickly. I will not be surprised if we have another like strike for actors and writing like in, you know, 5 years from now because the technology is changing so quickly. So,
Dude, AI video is moving rapid right now. It is insane how quick and how accurate moving video is being compiled in artificial intelligence.
yeah.
Um, it's gonna be interesting because what's gonna happen is it's here to stay, and it's gonna be here for the future. So anything in the past, like they're gonna have to deal with the petty lawsuits here and there because that's what those contracts didn't forecast this kind of thing, you know. But now further contracts are going to have to forecast. Hey, if you're a character in this movie and you look like this, we have every right to make our future characters look like you if we want to.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. It's crazy, and they're gonna have to think about this. And if they are gonna do that, I think you got to get paid more. So, you know, whether you're doing it or not, but you're taking that likeness. Either you get paid for it or you recast me. You know, I think that's what you have to do. So,
You know, on that too is royalties. That's where you make your money. All right,
absolutely.
give me more royalties for this character, and I give you my likeness. You know, I that's where I would be as an actor. But if I was Nick Cage, my royalty fee would be huge. I'd be like, you want Nick Cage? You're gonna be Nick." But you know what that's gonna do? That's gonna price out older actors until they get beat up and they're like, we're not making any money. And the studios are like, well, if you give us a backlog of all your old likeness and your characters, then we'll pay you. And they'd be like, okay. It's
Yeah.
only a matter of time before the big ones come in and I shouldn't say anything bad because I want to be in Hollywood with our podcast. Yeah, if you know we get big enough and we're on the Walk of Fame next to Batman, like I uh I would have to sell my likeness, and I'd be like, all right, that's cool, do it.
That is big news. I mean, we got now on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Batman is gonna own star.
Who's gonna show up? Is it Batman or is it gonna be Bruce Wayne?
Oh, dude, well, like, seriously, I was thinking, like, are they gonna get all the Batmen? Like, Michael Keaton has to be there, right? You gotta have Michael Keaton. I think even get Christian Bale.
Hmm.
I don't know about I don't care about Robert Pattinson, but, like, dude, there's just oh, is Val Kilmer still alive?
Ah, dang it, Peter, you put it out there. Yes,
So he is?
yes, he is.
Okay. He was one that I could not remember, like, did he pass or not? But, dude, what if he showed up, George Clooney? Oh, man, like, I just think anyone that's played Batman should be there. Even Will Arnett, he did the voice of
Mm.
Lego Batman. You know, sadly, you can't have Kevin Conroy, but, uh, I don't know, dude. I think you're gonna do that character in and I think it's rightfully so that he gets a star on the Walk of Fame. I mean, dude, Batman is huge. Um, but have you read anything about like, what makes it so you have to get one of these? Like, what has to be done? Isn't it like it's a petition?
That's a good. How do you get a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame? Let's
Yeah,
see.
I know Chris Hemsworth. He just got one recently, and I believe a petition was like made, and they're like, "Okay, you got so many people. Here you go. Here's a star."
You need a professional achievement, longevity, at least 5 years of activity in the entertainment field, contributions to the community, Attendance at a dedication ceremony.
Well, okay, then how's that Batman? He's- oh man, if Christian Bale just shows up, I'm Batman. Like, yeah, I um I don't know that.
Ben Affleck's gonna have to be there.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Ben.
Yeah.
Dude. But you know what I'm saying? Like some of those things that you just listed off, like that doesn't quite make it Batman. Like they kind of have to blur those lines a little bit.
What was the professional achievement that he accomplished?
Being Batman,
Yeah.
just being cool.
Dude, if I was like the Batman that showed up for this, I'd be like, well, here's the requirements to have a star in the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Professional achievements, check. Batman. Longevity in the category for 5 years or more. I have X amount of movies. I'm Batman. Contributions to the community. I know
I'm
Bruce
Batman.
Wayne. I'm Batman. And guaranteed that's a celebrity will attend the dedication ceremony if selected. I'm here. I'm Batman.
That would be great.
And then he just, oh, dude, some of the comments I saw, they're like, they're gonna have to have this at night. Like that's the only time Batman shows up.
Dude, and they do the bat signal.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, dude, this could be so cool.
dude, it could change the Hollywood Walk of Fame all over again. Now we could start having characters.
Yeah, but
Character Walk of Fame.
yeah, like here's the thing, dude. Like they just opened the door with this one, with like the fact that Batman's the first, which I do think like he deserves that. But Superman? Is Superman up there? You know, like
Yeah, Superman hasn't had a good movie in a while though.
that's true, but he's so super iconic. I think that symbol, like most of the world knows that symbol. Like probably just like Batman.
Dude, you straight up have Batman in your background right now. Like,
Well, of course, I love Batman. I don't love Superman, but I'm just saying, like, this
you
is
got
tough.
Venom behind you.
Oh, well, yeah, I would love to see Venom on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, but like, and Ghostbusters, like, like, this is what I'm saying is that they've opened this up to a lot of different characters, and I think they're gonna have to almost like do its own classification on this. You
Yeah.
know? So I think they gotta think about that a little bit more. But should we get into our recommendations? Our feature presentation, Ryan.
Yeah, I was like, are we that far out? We're skipping something? Nope. No, that's not Pew Pew.
It is.
You know, for a podcast where we had no news, we just conjured up the best news
Well,
and went with it.
I don't know if it was all of it was the best news, but yeah.
Well, I mean, the dead actors was we had great content based off the news that was given to us, and we
Yes.
brought up Batman.
Here's the thing: we don't need that much to talk, be long-winded. We will find something, or we'll go on another tangent, and then we also just remember things. So,
Dude, our AI episode's gonna be fantastic. I'm gonna start writing the script soon.
yeah, we're gonna start asking those questions on what we want to say. So that'd be cool. Ryan,
Peter,
I've seen some movies.
I've seen some movies too.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna do both of these, but I did watch Twisters. Have you seen Twisters yet?
I have. I think I reviewed Twisters.
Oh, did you? I thought you reviewed Twister.
Go on. I'd like to hear your version of Twisters.
Okay, well, the other one though is A Quiet Place Part 2, which you did that one, right?
Is that the one where they talk?
Well, they're supposed to be quiet.
What's the one? Is this a prequel? This is a sequel?
No, so This is the sequel to A Quiet Place. I have not. I thought about watching Quiet Place day one,
Ah,
but
that's a prequel.
yeah, but I was like, no, I need to go in order of release, and so that's what I did. I watched part 2 last night. But I thought that's the one that you reviewed before. I don't know if you did Twisters, but um, regardless, I want to talk about Twisters because
Hell yeah, talk about Twisters.
I was blown away.
Really?
Yes, dude. Like, so I watched this at home. I didn't go see it in theaters or anything. Um, and I loved it from start to finish, dude. I thought this took like the tone, how the original Twister felt, and just continued it with a whole new story. Like, really, the only, I mean, besides having tornadoes, like the only thing that has it really related was that Dorothy makes an appearance in the beginning of the movie, and so they just kind of capitalize off of like, of, oh hey, yeah, like Dorothy worked, and it's a good way to deploy like this technology so we can learn more about tornadoes, which that was something I mean, I hope this is accurate, but it just seems like we don't know a lot about tornadoes. It's pretty crazy how little we know. And so just like the first one and this one, it's all about learning more about tornadoes and maybe and helping mankind by figuring out this stuff. Uh and so beginning of the movie, action packed, sets it up so perfectly with
Right off
the,
the bat.
yeah, and they stayed true to her character, which I don't even know. Like, I thought she did fantastic. Everyone in this movie, actually, I felt like did a fantastic job. Um, and so I mean, there's some deaths.
It's on VOD.
Yeah, that's why I feel like it's okay. Like, and it sets up like, all right, here's this character arc.
And it's the beginning of the movie.
Yeah, but I don't want to go into. Oh, that's Daisy Edgar Jones. Yeah, she did a fantastic job. She is like the main protagonist, and then she um meets up then with Glenn Powell, which I loved his little side story too. Just kind of like he's the hot shot YouTuber creating all this crazy content, and I loved how like he just retrofitted his vehicle to basically be able to drive into tornadoes, use auger bits to drill into the dirt so his truck doesn't get blown away or get sucked up in a tornado, and he's just the cowboy. What was it, like the tornado wrangler, I believe he was called. um and I just love that. But then like they flipped the strip on like this person that like loves like tornadoes, is kind of like scared of tornadoes, and this person that is not afraid of tornadoes, who you think is just kind of an asshole. He's not such an asshole. And how they just blended it all together um was just, it was lovely. Ryan, I just had a blast. Um I was in bed, so I can't really say I was at the edge of my seat, but I was thoroughly um invested in this movie, uh thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's just a thrill a minute, man. I don't know what else to say. I loved every single part about it, and I just thought it captured the essence of Twister, the original Twister. I think we're gonna watch Twister. So I don't know if you think differently. I want to hear, because I don't remember you saying anything different about this. Well, I don't remember.
So I saw this with Jeremy, and I realized I get a lot of my gut knee jerk reaction by who I watched my movie with.
Mhm.
And I walked out of there and I was like, Jeremy was like, that movie sucked. And I was like, well, Jeremy, you always have a first shitty opinion about it. But then I got to think about it, and I was watching that movie, and the entire time, And maybe it's because I always try and fan cast other movies while I'm watching movies. But I was like, how can these two be Scott Summers and Jean Grey? And I was really trying to like look at Daisy Edgar Jones and be like, can she be Jean Grey? Can she be Green Jay? Jean Grey. Can she do it? Like,
So you're not even thinking about who they are in this movie. Just how can they fit into the X-Men universe?
because in my mind, my mind's made up about Glenn Powell. He's totally Cyclops. Like,
Yeah.
if they cast anybody else, I'm gonna throw a fit. But I'm like, all right, I can see them building these two right now. But I was like, I don't know if she's Jean Grey yet. But then towards the end of the movie, I was like, okay, I see that she could be Jean Grey because she's smart. She kind of anticipated that other tornado and saved that small little town. But then I realized I had another problem with these most recent movies. And it's just that, like I said, we're getting older. So these younger actors are all Gen Z actors. And I'm trying to figure out what is wrong with Gen Z. And that's the wrong approach. I need to start understanding Gen Z is just us in our 20s and 30s when we were saying and doing stupid shit and acting certain ways. So I'm trying to get off like get off my lawn attitude and like, oh yeah, cool. My other movie like that was Alien Romulus, right? So after thinking about it, I did like Twisters. I did like that they like modernized it where here's this crew who's actually vested in research for tornadoes, and then here's these blackjaw yokels who are just like, woo, we're gonna have a YouTube channel and we have millions of viewers and we're just gonna be right in the middle of it. And then
But there's so much more than that.
but
Like,
that's what I liked about that's Glenn Powell right
yeah.
there. Glenn Powell is like he's like us, you know. He's like,
Mhm.
yeah, I'm in the midst of it. I'm still partaking in what's going on, but I have layers. Daisy Edgar Jones. I have layers. Like I'm not just that handsome face driving that badass truck. That's just my crew and my image I portray, but I got layers. I'm smart. I can do this, and I can solve this twisties mystery with you and get away from that weird guy who looks like John Leguizamo.
Yes. He was the guy, he's the new G.I. Joe guy.
Ugh, we gotta change that up. Um,
Uh,
so so in conclusion, I did enjoy it, but I realized who I go watch movies with, my initial reaction is different. I have to process it later on,
yeah,
and I think this is a really good. This should have did better in the box office, but I think this is a really good edge of your bed movie.
absolutely. Here's the thing, like I think we talked about this is that this movie easily probably like could have just gone off the rails and been terrible, right?
Hmm.
Um but I feel like they stayed true to again what Twister was and also not get they weren't focused like on like a love story. Like that was my concern. And the whole time like here's the best example of this is that they did not get so crazy and just focus on the wrong things with this movie. And the best example of that is the person that dies is Daisy Edgar Jones's boyfriend, right? That's very troubling. And you have this weird, like a love interest with Glenn Powell later on. Yes, it's years in the future, but for our audience, right, you can't just go straight into that. And you actually get to see like the troubles and you get to see like we're like it's not yes, they're connected, but it's not like a romance thing like at that point, right? Like it was this I don't know how you describe it. I was going to call it like a slow burn for this. Um but the purpose of the movie wasn't about like, oh, like they're going to have their epic kiss right before someone goes off to go die. You know, like it wasn't like that type of writing. Like it was very, I think, well thought of. Did a lot of enough drafts to realize like, hey, we cannot just go straight into the whole. These guys are now boyfriend and girlfriend, and who cares about that old ex, right? Like they were very wise on that.
Well, the way that they did a really good job about that was having Javi come in, which is Anthony Ramos, which he looks like John Leguizamo.
Yeah,
He
that guy.
was the bridge between those two because he was the one who got her back into chasing twisters, and
Yeah,
his initial reasoning was was in line with what she was looking to do. But then you later, as the movie progresses, without spoiling anything, it leads her to Glenn Powell, and then you see the true side of Glenn Powell and how he wants to kind of
yeah.
help out.
You
Sorry,
getting choked up about this? I know
yeah,
it's
it's
pretty.
just making me sad. No,
Um,
we were talking about our colds earlier. Like the weird thing that's happened is like when I drink liquids, my throat gets really dry. That
yeah.
shouldn't happen.
No,
It's supposed to
that's
moisturize my throat.
is the opposite's happening. That's weird. Um, weird question, Ryan. I are there tornadoes in other places in the U.S.?
Besides, like Oklahoma,
Yeah, besides like Tornado Alley, like seriously, are there tornadoes in other places
we get
of the world?
tornadoes every once in a while.
Okay, but again, not in the U.S. Again, like, is there tornadoes ever in Mexico?
No,
Okay,
no, I can't think of anywhere else that gets tornadoes
I
besides
can't.
Texas, Oklahoma, and Colorado, and Kansas.
Okay, hang on. Okay, so there are some other places. So
Where?
Google says other countries experience tornadoes, including Germany, Australia, South Africa, Eastern China, Japan, Bangladesh, Argentina, and more. What does this say? Europe as a whole is comparable to the size of the US, but there's a vast difference in the number of tornadoes and tornado fatalities. Oh, so like there is kind of like, wow. Okay. Listen. So United States, like, dude, we're just in a bad area, apparently.
I think it's the
Average,
way that it's shaped.
maybe the average tornadoes per year are over 1,150 tornadoes per year. That's crazy. That's in the US. For Europe, average tornadoes per year is over 250. What a difference. Why I bring this up is just because I was looking at the grosses, the grossing for this movie, and it's estimated maybe like 150 million for the budget, up to like 200. Domestic, it made 266 million. Internationally though, only 102 million. And I started to think, like, is it because there's not really tornadoes other places? Like they're just like, what
They
is
don't
this
get it.
weird? Yeah, they don't like, what? That doesn't happen. So they just didn't want to go see it, you know? So worldwide though, 368.9 million. I feel like that's pretty good, but I guess if it really was like 200 million to produce, maybe there won't be a twister or ers.
Maybe this just needs to be a B-rated sci-fi movie where tornadoes leave the U.S. and they go across the world and start killing everybody else,
Maybe.
like with sharks.
Yeah, they might. They probably like that, huh? They might like that.
Why am I
You gonna-
dying lately?
I don't know. Are you gonna be all right? Are you gonna be able to review your movie?
I don't know if I could drink water anymore.
Oh man.
Maybe that's my weird COVID thing, is just any liquids I drink. Just
Maybe you're like Bruce Willis in Unbreakable, and that's your like kryptonite.
water.
Yeah. You don't
gotta
remember
watch
that?
Unbreakable. No,
Yeah.
that sucks. That would be terrible. That leads me to the movie I just saw, and I thought it was freaking fantastic. Everything about it. It was comical. It had Michael Keaton. It had Wednesday Adams. It had the chick from Stranger Things. It had Kevin's mom, and I don't know who Justin Thoreau, whatever his name is, but dude, the characters were hilarious. Catherine O'Hara stepped it up a notch from her original character in Beetlejuice. Michael Keaton got plenty of screen time in there, and he was just Beetlejuice. Like he was just.
Would you? Sorry, with that, do you think that was more screen time than the last from, or just the right amount, like, or the same amount and the right amount? Because I heard that Michael Keaton was like, "We're gonna do this. We gotta do it, like, the same way. Like it's not about Beetlejuice, really. It's so I don't need that much screen time." Is that
Good point.
accurate?
So think about the first Beetlejuice. It wasn't about Beetlejuice. It was about Alec Baldwin and I forgot her Gina whatever.
Yeah.
It was about that family, and then it was about that family who died and the new family moving in. Um, so Beetlejuice was about the subplots of the characters, and initially when I watched this one, that's what I was like, there's too many subplots going on in here. It starts off with Beetlejuice and his ex-wife. It starts off and then it moves into the death in the family, and then it moves on to the character arc between Lydia and her daughter, and then bringing her back to the original house, and then so and so on and so on and so on. But there was so many subplots, and I think towards the end, my only fault of this movie is towards the end is they had so many built up that like some of them they just kind of dropped off.
Mhm.
Like the payoff of that character was nothing really.
Yeah.
And it's like, see, I wanted to see more of that certain character versus like trying to rush this entire thing because you have to get this final thing with Beetlejuice.
Well, Beetlejuice is kind of like already greenlit, right? They already know what they're gonna do, right?
Yeah. So I don't know how they're gonna. I mean, I know how they could do it because Peter, they literally got the same plot. They incorporated a marriage. They incorporated some deaths. They incorporated uh, a new. Um, was there a love interest in the first Beetlejuice with Lydia? There wasn't, was there?
No.
Okay, so that's a new part of it. So that's like an added, and then you get to go between the different worlds. What I will say about this, let me remember his name. Who was the main actor? Who was the dad in Beetlejuice?
Oh, like Jeff something, I believe. But he's like a pedophile. That's why he's not in it.
Okay, yeah. What was here? Let me just because even when Jeremy and I were talking about this, he's like, "Oh, I love how they like got rid of his or did his character." I said, "Well, dude, he's like, wasn't he canceled?" I said, "Dude, he was beyond canceled, it was a long time ago." And he asked, "Is he still alive?" I was like, yeah, he pretty much is, but yeah, he's a registered sex offender as of 2021.
Mhm.
Anyway, this is what I wanted to talk about: how they handled his character. He dies. He's the one that when you see the preview, you see the kids singing Deo. When they show him and the montage of his death, they did it in a complete claymation animation style, kind of like a Corpse Bride or like
Yeah.
and the way that they explained it back and forth in real life and the claymation, it was perfect. Then you see his character in the afterlife. Can I tell you? Or
Well, I
do you
mean,
just
you just did.
no, but like just how he is.
Oh, well, so it's like not like a big deal with it because I assume they really don't want to, give that guy too much credit, right? You just do spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
He
The
has
way
to get it out. He just has to
Yeah,
talk
the way
about
that
it.
he dies is there's a plane crash while he's going to bird watching, and they explain that he survived the plane crash in the ocean with other survivors, but the way he dies is a shark bites his top part off. So the first time you see him in the afterlife, you just see this body running around with his giant shark bite in the middle and blood squirting out of his body, and he just like says random words like where am I going, blah, 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 and he's just that one character who's just randomly running around like no head, nothing like that. So I think that was a perfect send off to like we need to explain him, but we don't want to give any notary to the actor Jeffrey Jones.
Yeah, I
So
like it. That's
the way
cool.
they did it, and it was pretty funny. And like I said, that was just one of the subplots of the movie. It sets up a lot of things. It sets up like a lot of things you see in the trailer, but um it was a good fan service too. I mean, Winona Ryder was who she was as Lydia, and what she grew up to be made a lot of sense. Like I said, with what we talked about with Twister, like incorporated YouTube. Lydia. They modernized what she does for a living. Catherine O'Hara, she's continuing to be an artist. You see Wednesday Adams, being Wednesday Adams, and then Jenna Ortega.
Yeah.
And then Michael Keaton, Beetlejuice, being there is a really funny scene like of Beetlejuice explaining something, but it's like him in real life as a Undertaker. And just seeing him, Michael Keaton, not looking like Beetlejuice, but kind of looking like Beetlejuice, and the way that they did that, those backstories with him, perfect execution. Um, and the rest of the characters, they're great add-ons. The only one that I didn't like too much because I think they gave him too much screen time, and I don't really say this about him, is Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was just kind of like I was like I don't need to know that what you were like, and he was one of the ones who really didn't have any payoff. What type of character he was at the end, it just didn't matter. Like, and he just disappeared. So Um, overall, this movie was a great fan service for people. What's really cool is going to see it at the movie theater. I saw people our age. I saw older people, and I saw kids, and I saw families taking their kids to go see this movie. So
Nice.
it's a good kooky one.
It is. I think the thing I'm kind of was like really curious about and also excited to find out is, does it dive more into the whole like spirit world and like that side of things compared to the first one?
What do you mean, like?
Well, I feel like the first movie, like they kind of just dabble in like the spirit world. Like they like, all right, it's kind of like a business basically. I don't know if business is the right thing, but like
Like a
uh a-
DMV?
yeah, like that type of agency where you gotta come here and it's very busy and very just chaotic. But then like all they really did is like, okay, they go in there and they meet with their rep and learn some stuff about like, okay, this is what you gotta do. But they didn't really like talk about like, what else is out there, right? Is everyone just, like obviously there's people doing this job. There's got to be more. So did they expand on that?
They did.
Okay.
The way that you're explaining it now, like in your question, yes, they did. Um, but but like the first one, it was initial block. Like the characters were in the afterlife or in the spirit world. They had to go through that line, or they had to go get their ticket or whatnot. So they had that blockage right there. But they did really well making that a good part of the story, and ways to go to or prevent them from going to certain the funniest part was it um is they explain the soul train.
Hmm.
So where you're it, well, soul train is a key element of the expansion of it. So
Okay.
um When you watch it, you'll get it. You'll be like, oh, now I
Nice.
understand. But they explain a little bit more of the afterlife because you're right. Like in Beetlejuice, that waiting room area was kind of like your soul saying, I'm not supposed to be here. And you had to navigate kind of like traveling through the airport. I'm not supposed to be here. Why am I here? Like why's and that confusion right there. And you got that with a couple of the characters. And I, s- I still don't know what Beetlejuice does. I just feel like he's just a crook. Like I know he had the ads for like the adult stuff, and then but like he has his own agency. And in the previews you see the Bobs, like he has them working for him. And you hear in the movie of all these disgruntled clients of Beetlejuice.
But
Do
that
you
that
know
was
what he does?
the yeah, he is other spirits would hire him to assist with like getting rid of people from their house, right? Like he was the poltergeist. Like
Oh,
he's the
okay.
one that had so much experience and can really do the scares to get people to leave. Obviously he had alternative motives, but did I say ulterior? Ulterior motives. I think I said
Ulterior. You've been ulterior in your house too much.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, so that's basically what he was doing. He would be hired to help evict humans from the household.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, apparently he's still in business. I don't know how he did it.
Nice. Yeah, especially after how the first one ended. So well, nice. Like me and the missus, we were supposed to go see this and we haven't had a chance. Life gets in the way. But I am like super excited to see it. And yeah, I just think it'll be a great callback to what I grew up with. I love Beetlejuice and I watched that like just into last year and I loved it rewatching it. So nice, Ryan. Should we get into our recommendations and wrap this thing up?
Yeah, and I just realized we'll get into it.
Yes! Yes! Oh! 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 Oh, God. Oh.
I'll have what she's having.
Yeah.
I just realized I was saving most of my rant and my questions for recommendations, but every other part of this episode has been really um long-winded, I guess. I mean, we're talking like I love it, but I know we want to wrap it up, but I want to recommend going through and watching the Alien franchise.
Nice.
I went through and I watched Alien, I watch Aliens, I watch Alien 3, I
Cube.
watch Alien Cube.
I love when
Yeah.
you cough, the whole camera just
I know.
shakes.
I'm died. And then what's after that? Resurrection. And then I watch Covenant. Was it Covenant?
Yeah, Alien Covenant, right? Yeah.
And then I'm on Prometheus, but I remember Prometheus very well. I have a lot of questions. But
Is there one after Prometheus?
no.
Oh, okay.
I think
thought they did-
Prometheus is the last one.
Okay, so you went from Prometheus to Alien Covenant.
No.
You didn't
Oh.
in order of release.
Then I fucked up. Because Prometheus came out before Covenant. Dang it. Anyway.
You just went strictly with anything that had alien in the title.
Yeah, maybe that's why I skipped Prometheus completely. Because I was watching Covenant and I was like, wait a minute, when did Michael Fassbender show up? I thought he showed up in Prometheus, not this movie. And then sure enough, that's exactly what happened. Let me just say this. This is a strange franchise, dude, because Alien came out, and then after watching Romulus, I love how Romulus had so much of a callback to the original Alien. and Alien was a horror movie, and they were really trying to spawn this franchise and make it like a horror movie. But they completely derailed that plan by adding James Cameron to do Alien 2 and made it an action movie, an action sci-fi movie, and then tried to course correct it with a David Fincher directed movie with Alien Cube that just like was the strangest movie to me, and especially after watching the first two where Alien was so freaking edge of your bed exciting, and then Aliens was like action movie, and then Alien Cube was like, cool, thanks for telling me all this stupid backstory, and at the end Ripley just has to kill herself. Um and then like fucking Resurrection, like what? Clones? Huh? And then like, okay, we need a break. And then you get Prometheus and then Covenant. I'm like, dude, this franchise is the most bipolar franchise I've ever seen in my
Yeah,
life.
and those movies are prequels, and apparently you didn't even get to you didn't do Alien versus Predator stuff.
No, because I was sitting there thinking, I was like, those aren't really part of it. It's more of like a crossover. Um, but yeah, it's just so all over the place in terms of art direction, style, what genre it is. I just uh, you could pick up anywhere on this one, but if you try and go back, you'd be super confused. You're like, what the fuck is going on here? But um, I recommend it. I recommend getting a little mind fuck of Alien for a little bit. So
I
you,
think, I mean, just with the any franchise, right? There's always some that just aren't as good as others.
yeah, but they're
Uh,
still very similar. Like Terminator stayed very on course of what it was.
yeah, they definitely they grew. They had to up. I don't know if you really call it up the ante, but they had to adjust. I think they thought like this is how it makes it more exciting. But I don't know. I always enjoyed the Alien franchise. I've liked them. So I
I've liked him.
obviously if I had to rank them though, like it would some of those later ones I'm like, ugh, like I shouldn't say it that way. It's just they're just not as enjoyable. Like, dude, those first two ones, and they're so vastly different too, just stand out so well. And I just feel like it's always been like, how do we recapture that? And they've never been able to do that. That's been the issue, right? They've never been able to
Yeah.
recap the magic from the first one or from kind of reimagining it as a big action film. Like they just haven't been able to do that. So um I I will recommend A Quiet Place Part 2 because I don't know why I waited so long to watch this because I thought it was a fantastic movie. Um, I thought it picked up, right where the first one left off, um, just as intense. And that was kind of my thing. Is like, I don't know how they're gonna continue this story. But they did a great job. Um, did a lot of things that I just was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. And um eh, the The thrills, I thought they just kept those thrills in there, like, they did a really good job. John, Krasinski, like, he wrote and directed this one, which I forgot. I didn't realize he did that for the sequel as well. But he did a really good job of keeping that tension, giving, e like almost dedicated stories for, like, each character, like, this time. I really felt like everyone kinda had their own little arc, and they gotta follow through with it, and I thought all of them, like, it was satisfying, those arcs. Um, and just the action, there's more creatures. I just loved how they expanded on what they did in the first one. And so I highly recommend it. If you were like me and you've been waiting for whatever reason to not watch this one, you should stop that and watch it. It's on Paramount Plus, and You'll enjoy it. Trust me. It's really good. If you like the first one, you'll like
I like it. I like it.
Yeah. Well, Ryan, it's been fun. It's been too long. Let's not wait this long for the next one.
I'm already looking at new streaming services for our podcast. So
Nice.
I'm
So
excited
next time
to set that up.
we'll be on a new one. Be AI generated.
Oh my
So
gosh.
this podcast can go on forever and ever and ever. And until
I'm-
then, go ahead.
Pew pew out,
Yeah, pew pew out.
motherfuckers. Go ahead. Like I was gonna say something important.